Hi everyone, this is your host Vanessa Morgan live on Poze Radio, where we bring you the top news and entertainment, along with great indie musicians and celebrity interviews. I'm here today with Gaby Jurgens. Hi Gaby.
Hi there, Vanessa. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, most definitely. So Gaby, I know that you're a former military wife, and I know that you also went through many trials and tribulations with dealing with having a loved one in the military. So why have you dedicated your entire life to giving back to the other half of the brave?
I come from a long line of military service. Mm-hmm. My dad was a veteran. Then I married into the military. I raised my son in the military life. So it's really been a part of my life, all my life. So, awesome. So for me, it was very a strong sort of calling to, as I was, raising my son in this life, I wanted to be able to see something that I didn't see, which was a reflection of the bravery and the strength and the resilience that embodies the military family community, which I came to call the other half of the brave, mm-hmm. And our military kids as well. And only way I know how to do that is through a creative outlet. And I'm a self-taught artist. And so I started Homefront Girl Studios based on that premise. I just wanted to be able to maybe create something, designs and inspirational messages that bonded the military community. Mm-hmm. And, it's something about seeing your life reflected in something, whether it's a mug or a shirt, but in a positive way. And also I wanted something that was trendy, fashion forward. I'm a girly girl, so so I have about 80 camos and that I created and are available in this amazing different, from mugs to sports bras and leggings on my website, homefrontgirl.com. Mm-hmm. But those, I wanted them, they're not your grandpa's camos. They're not your daddy's camo. They're a girl camo. And they're fun, and they're, the colors and the names. I love writing, so that is a big part of Homefront Girl Studios. And so for me, that's how it sort of evolved. And then along the way, after all the years of being in the military life, you are paying it forward is really a part of the life that we lead. We are so far away from our immediate family. The military family is grows to be your family, and those around you, including the men and women who are serving in your platoon or, their family members. And so you learn to give back and to volunteer. And so as my former husband had retired in 2007, and I went to a really remote state, and it was cold anyway. And there was nobody there, and I was, my son went off to junior in high school, and my former husband went off to, his new job and, wearing a suit. And I was like, okay, what do I do with the rest of my life? And, right. I will tell you a funny story. It got so, and I know people can relate, when you raise your kids and everything else. And they sort of empty nest me, but I wasn't quite empty nesting. He was a junior, but then again, he doesn't want me around high school. I do not exist. I shouldn't even talk to him, actually. But back in high school days, that's how, but I love my son, by the way. But I remember the only, adult person, every so often that would come, that I would meet would be when I had the gas man who came through, and I swear to God, I was like, "Oh, I get to talk to an adult," and I was like, this guy's going to think I'm hitting on him. Okay, but that's just a little funny thing. But the whole point of it was that I said, okay, I can't do this. I need to do something else. And then I reached into journals that I had been writing for most of my life, and certainly I had covered my life in the military, and that's what I drew from to create the designs and the inspirational messages that would later on go on to be licensed by companies and producing products that you would find in stores.
Awesome. Wow. Well, actually, Gabby, tell the audience exactly what is Homefront Girl.
Homefront Girl is my studio line of designs. There's only one person in this entire studio, and that would be me. I take out the trash. I do it all. I have 2 little dogs. They're both Shih Tzus. Sometimes I post pictures on Instagram about them because they're really sweet. And right now they're lying underneath my studio table, and you probably will hear Rosie. She snorts a lot and snores, unfortunately. But it's where I decided to start when I got an agent, and it was a long story getting there, but that's for another day, possibly talking about getting an agent. But they saw me as not just artist who was creating artwork. Because the fact that I came from this life, and I really did see it as I wanted a purpose to it. They saw it as a brand. And so I came up with, they wanted me to come up with a name. So I, after about 2 days, I said, Homefront Girl. And then I thought I was done. But then they said, okay, what's your tagline? So I said, oh, great, more work. Okay. And so I came back the next day. I was like, okay, he asked me, who's the Homefront Girl? And when I say Homefront Girl, I do want to make a note that our military men and women, when I say Homefront Girl, it doesn't denote in any way that I forget the fact of the contribution that's made by our military spouses, because I served along with them. There's some of my, I have very close friends who are married to active duty military women, officers, and enlisted that are currently serving.
Wow.
Homefront Girl is really like kind of my moniker. And the idea was, well, who is she? And when I said it's a spouse, it's a mom, it's a friend, a fiance, it's anyone that's ever loved someone who's served in our military and shared that hero with the world. And then it's shortened to sharing my hero with the world. And that's the essential of how it got started. And after that, I started to then look at the designs. I had about 800 at the time. I now have and I had to throw away about 500 because I didn't realize I couldn't use IP properties like I used to as an Army wife. When you do retail, they don't like you doing that. So I started to do, I started all over. I'm now up to about 2,000 designs. And like I said, I do create my own camos. I taught myself how to do all of this. And I wanted also to not only have a trendy, fun, like, for example, the Pink Collection at UNESCO, a wonderful company that I was signed to for almost 3 years, put out an incredible line of products based on the Pink Camo Collection. And then there was also the Sisterhood Collection. I've written a couple of gift books that make great little, farewell gifts or something just to give. I mean, it's I think they're $15. You can get them on Amazon, but you can also get them on homefrontgirl.com. They're available there too. But they're just something that you can give the person that you know, or someone who's dating someone, or all of these things are meant to be something to give that reflects that life. Because when I was coming up through the ranks, as they say, I didn't have any of those things. So I decided to kind of tap into that, and I wanted to see that reflected in retail. And I wanted, then after some time, I started to develop even more under the umbrella of Homefront Girl. And now I have Homefront Baby, Homefront Kids, the Homefront Bride, and Homefront Pet for our four-legged heroes. And I've created service harnesses with messages like "with you every step of the way," and really cute pet shirts like "I got this watch, Santa," and because we all love our four-legged pets too.
Of course.
And so for me, it's been a matter of just getting the word out, really, since I am a one-person operation. And, like any new entrepreneur to anything, it's wanting to get the awareness out there. So I appreciate you having me on your radio show with your audience. Because, it's a matter of sometimes we want to say thank you, and it could be a mug, it could be a shirt, or it could be something like a teddy bear or a candle. And I have two that are tied to charity, but I know you're going to ask me about that later, so I'm going to stop talking.
Wow, Gabby, you do so much, and actually this interview is actually a thank you for all that you do, because you actually recognize those who are actually going through struggles and, trying to, hold them your own self up, trying to still build your self confidence and everything with someone you love, and it's in the military, and any time they can be hurt or something can happen to them, or you can lose that loved one. And for you to be able to recognize people who actually go through that, it's beautiful, and I love that. I love everything that you do. This is a really beautiful thing that you're doing for people.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
I so appreciate that. Oh, thank you.
You are very welcome, dear. And I also know that you donated to military charities. So tell me, how successful have you been in those, in donations?
Well, I was very happy that along as I was building Homefront Girl, and then I was, kind of doing the Facebook thing, and which, I got to tell you, I wasn't really great on social media. I think I tweeted to myself for like a month, and I couldn't understand. Like, why do I have no one? But there's only so much you could teach yourself.
Right.
So anyway, I'm much better now, by the way. Please follow me on Twitter, by the way. Hey, Homefront Girl. I had, as people begin to learn about it, and it took a while, they would ask for, like, especially military spouse clubs, who, around bases, from Quantico to, 101st Air at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, or Army Wife Network and their Battle Buddy seminars that they would do. And I would donate to them. So that was one way. I purchased these. These were not, I signed with these companies, but they only give me like a few samples. I don't get like everything. But I put those out there, and I would send them. And they would love them. The people that would see them, the women and the spouses, the male spouses, because they saw what I would use, which was like, I'd say something like Battle Buddy. Battle Buddy in the military is something that our men and women use in the field. But it's funny how in military life we adapt so much of what our loved ones are say in this life, that we also have a battle buddy, and that'll be that bestie that you're going to call at 4 a.m, or you can't sleep, and or your car broke down. I mean, we all have someone like that, but during a deployment, more than ever, because Murphy comes calling during a deployment or training exercise. So something will happen, and your spouse is not around to help you with it, and you're both parents at that time. And so you need that battle buddy to be there to kind of lift you up and say, because they can relate to the lifestyle that you're living, and to being alone without that loved one, and the stresses that come with that, and having to keep a family going if you do have one, or balancing a career, which isn't always easy. So those types of things are the stuff that I would donate to a lot of different groups. Then later on, I wanted to, when I did a collection, I looked to the company that wanted to license, and I wanted to look to a charity, especially a 4-star rated charity through charitynavigator.org. I highly recommend people to go there if you want to give, because it really tells you, it breaks everything down so you know exactly where your money's going.
Awesome.
So Yankee Candle signed me, to a limited edition collection. And if you go on YouTube and you just do Yankee Candle Homefront Girl, you'll see the video that I did and how we benefited. So for every candle purchase, $1 would go back to Homes for Our Troops, which would build adaptive mortgage-free homes for our triple amputees, for our most wounded veterans of the wars. And that was astounding. $75,000, I believe, was the amount that we raised. They have just finished building. It was a couple months ago, but celebrating the 250th home that was built for Homes for Our Troops, and so they're an amazing charity. So that was very special to me. So anytime that I can, Homefront Girl can be a part of saying, let's pay it forward. I love that. It doesn't happen all the time. I'm not a non-for-profit. I'm a working gal.
Right.
I'm trying to make this work. And so, and you can understand, Vanessa, because you're a working gal too.
Oh yeah, I work all day.
And it just takes off. But I always believe that we stand on the shoulders of giants, and giving back is important, and paying it forward is important. And it's something that I just is in sort of my DNA, but I think it's in the DNA of most people that love and support our military men and women and their families. And so I've done, along the way, there's been donations to auctions at Lone Survivor Foundation, Final Salute for our homeless female veterans. I've donated baskets for that. And several others. Currently, right now, I have a teddy bear collection. Please, everybody, go and check out homefrontgirl.com. These bears are absolutely one-of-a-kind, adorable bears. And they are available on homefrontgirl.com, and they're actually currently on sale. And with every purchase, a portion will go back to Operation Homefront, commitment that I've made and I will keep. Their mission is to strengthen our military families through all of the different challenges that they face. And then I also I had loved doing what I did with Yankee Candle, loved the organization, but it was a limited edition collection. I wanted to do something that was based kind of on an idea that I had, and also what you can learn more, about me is I love to write and I love stories. So on mostly everything, if you go on Homefront Girl, you're going to read something. I'm going to be you're going to hear there's a little, or you're going to read something, and it's me writing a little story or a little ditty. On each, I created a candle collection, and the candle collection has 5 candles, and they were created by the people that made, or they make the Ritz-Carlton Spa candles. So these are high-quality candles. And they're beautiful candles, and they come wrapped and ready for giving, especially as we're nearing the holiday season. And there's a story underneath each one.
Oh, wow.
And there's something like I missed the boot, or with every salute, you take my breath away. There will be a story right underneath each one, and you can read it, and it's very meaningful. And then there's Imagine a World Without Heroes. Freedom is never free. And that was inspired by September 11th. I was a military wife at the Naval War College with my family when that horrible day happened. And I sat down and wrote this story, I don't know what to call it. At the time, it was just me getting it out. And it was just something about knowing that, thank you to the families, and, thank you and also to our men and women for missing and saying I do, or saying I send me, and raising their hand and going, and doing what they do and separating from their families. So that's one of the things. And I currently have the candle collection. Every time you buy a candle, I will make a donation to United Through Reading. You can go to unitedthroughreading.org to learn more about the organization, but I've supported them over the years with donations to their auctions at the Storybook Ball in San Diego, and I'm so happy that they allowed me to bring the collection together with their organization and shed a light on it. So please support those two, please, collections, because you are really, you're helping. And it's one way of getting something that you can give as a gift, but at the same time, you're doing something for our military families. And that's pretty good. And that was my dog snoring. Anyway.
I forgot the dog was there.
Oh, dear Lord.
Well, that is really beautiful, Gaby. And actually, I also want to really commend you on your actually donation of signature Homefront Girl bears that you gave to military children in a Macy's Thanksgiving parade last year. That was just beautiful. I actually seen. I believe I saw.
That was so fun.
It was so beautiful. I love that.
That was a special thing. Oh, thank you. That was a real special. Oh gosh, what can I say? I'm kind of a mother figure. I remember when I first heard about that, and it was this wonderful organization called Camp Broadway. It's a performing arts camp in New York, and they've done about 8 performances, I believe, or 9 maybe with the last one, last year's, at the Macy's Parade. And, someone had brought it to my attention that, did you know that they're going to have military kids perform, and, it's going to be about their service and stuff. And I thought, oh, that's awesome. And then someone told me they're not, it looks like there's just a high level of financial need request to the financial, aid arm, which is the Alliance. They're both great organizations, and maybe they may not go. One of the things, in the military, you join for a lot of reasons, but one of them is never going to be to make monetary, become a wealthy, because it's just not, yes, there are benefits that they give, but, and I hear that sometimes. People say, well, they signed up and you get all these benefits and free health care, Right. You know what? It's really not free, because they sign a check that says, when we say saddle up, you're going to saddle up and leave your family, right, and you may or may not come back. Yeah. So it's not free. It's not really free. So these were the children of these men and women that have served or are serving. And, our military kids, they never get a ticker tape parade. They hold it together. If any one of your listeners has ever done, YouTube and watched any of those welcome home videos and have bawled their eyes out like I do, when these kids see their dad after a year or whatever it's been, right, or mom, it's, they are heroes. And I always call them Uncle Sam's bravest soldiers, because I really do believe that for those that have to say goodbye to their parent, and sometimes it's 2 parents, that doesn't happen too often, but sometimes, right, it's extraordinary how brave they are, and I couldn't see us saying, no, you're not going to be in the Macy's Parade. And so I did contact someone, and it was a Marine wife, former Marine wife, who was kind of advisor. She's become a very good friend of mine now. And I just said, look, you can Google me. I'm not a crazy person, but I'd love to help. How can I help to get our kids to New York? I can use my Rolodex, or I can, social media, just what can I, And so we talked for like 3 hours, put our heads together, and I reached out to everyone I knew. I was pretty much picking everybody's pocket. But it wasn't just me. I want to make sure that that's clear. It was also a lot of other people that came forward and organizations through, the contact at Camp Broadway. But overall, the 20,000 that that the people that heard my cry for, please come out here and let's, support our military children, that went a long way. And I'm very happy that it did. I think it was 20. I hope I got that number right. But I was very happy because in the end, when Camp Broadway shared with me the letters and the essays that these kids wrote as to why they wanted to be a part of the Macy's Parade, and what their life meant, what military life was like for them and what it meant to have a loved one. And some of them were gold. I think we had one Gold Star kid. And that's a child who has lost their loved one in battle. Wow. they were so emotional. I mean, it's just so. Anyway, long story short, we got all our kids to Macy's. They invited me to attend, along with all of the other advisors, and we watched the parade on big screen TVs with the rest of the families. And our kids performed on Herald Square. And the night before, we had a pre-performance that we were, all the parents and all of us were able to witness. My son, who of course was an Army brat. He's now a graduate student studying film producing in LA.
Oh, wow.
He flew in to he was already in New York. He was like, okay, Mom, I'm coming down for Thanksgiving dinner. I'm coming home. And I'm like, you know what? Just stay there because I'm going there. I'm going to New York. And he was like, Mom, what are you doing now? And I was like, I'm kind of involved with Macy's Thanksgiving parade. And he's just like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? So anyway, so he was there, and I brought about 130 bears, and it was a lot of fun. And the pictures are up on the Facebook page of us, kind of opening up all the boxes and getting them ready. But when we had the kids sitting, there's a great photo on homefrontgirl.com when you click on the bears. I'm the little black dot in the center, by the way, because I was wearing all black and everybody else was wearing red,
Oh, yeah, I seen that picture. It was so beautiful. I love the picture.
Yeah, it's a great shot. But my son helped me pass out the bears, and we were throwing them up in the air, and the kids were jumping up and grabbing them. And one girl in particular, her mom, who had MS, asked me for her if she could have an extra bear for her mom. And one of the bears said, it's all covered in camo kisses, it's pink, and it says, I kissed a soldier, and I loved it. And, for them to see their lives reflected in something like that, it just has never happened before. And I can honestly, I'm not tooting my own horn, it just hasn't. Right. It's a 250 million demographic. That's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of families. It's 5 million military caregivers that we currently have in this country. This is a way for them to see their lives reflected in it. And my son was a performer as he was being raised in the military as a child, all the way up through when he left to go to college. He performed on stage. He wasn't into sports, so that was the way he performed. So it was really great to be able to introduce to the kids who were all like sitting there, and looking up at this really, I got to say, my son is really cute. And they were looking at him like, oh, and I said, this is my baby. And he was an art grad just like you, and he used to do performances like this, and now he's in Hollywood.
Wow.
And he's learning to make films, and everybody was like, these kids' jaws dropped, and there was a little bit of saying, look, this is one of you. This is one of yours. This is
right.
This is like we're all together. We all have that same experience. It varies in different ways across the services, but I just feel that's something that is so important, identifying, with that lifestyle. And I've been very happy that first responders also have kind of taken to the brand. Because they share their loved one in their community, and they don't know if their loved one's coming home, and they have some of the same stresses as well. So, anyway, sorry to go on so long.
Completely fine. Absolutely, Gabby. I actually know also, now you've also received many awards and accomplishments, including being awarded the Keeper of the Flame Award, as well as the Catherine Green Award, and a recipient of the Dr. Mary Walker Award. So tell me, how did you feel, or what were your thoughts when you were being acknowledged with such honors?
Well, those are all I was very, very honored to receive the Dr. Mary Walker Award. She is the first female, who's the only that has received the Medal of Honor.
Right.
And I was very, during, we were at the 10th Mountain Division when I received that award. And the others were for supporting the Ordnance Corps, which my former husband was an officer in the Ordnance Corps, and supporting Ordnance families and troops. And the Keeper of the Flame was for support to the Ordnance. I have got to say that back. It's been a while now. he was an ordnance officer, so the Keeper of the Flame is the Ordnance Award. But
Okay.
long story, all of those awards are wonderful, and it's wonderful to be recognized. But I have to tell you that I have always lived by this wonderful saying that I shared with my son. It's by Henry Drummond, and it's something that says, when you look back on your life, the moments that stand out, the moments that you will remember the most and will mean the most, are when you have done something in the spirit of love.
Yeah.
And what I have done over the years that may have been recognized with an award or a medal has not meant, what's meant so much to me is when the time that we spent with our, when my former husband was in command at battalion brigade level, and being with their families and learning about their lives. And I mean, to me, it was a privilege. I was so sad when we said goodbye and we had to leave because, like I said, I'm a little bit of a mother figure. And I was always the youngest commander's spouse, so, that went over really big with a lot of the other wives. But it was, to me, they all mean something. They all say that, but I stand with a long line of a sisterhood and a brotherhood of military spouses that do this on a daily basis, supporting, volunteering, and giving back to the military community that they live in. So I'm not really that special. We have an enormous community of special people. And I think that with Homefront Girl, I really just want to introduce that incredible community with some designs and inspirational messages, and especially to those that are coming into the world, who fall in love with a man who wears a uniform or a woman. And it's a new world that they come into. You almost feel like you enlist. For me, my most humbling, precious volunteer thing that I ever did as a military spouse was the honor to have been asked and sponsored in by a very good friend to be an Arlington lady, an Army Arlington lady at our National Cemetery. And that is, that will always be something that I will carry close to my heart, to have been able to be there and ensure that no soldier is buried alone, which is what they do. And they're an extraordinary group of ladies and that participate in doing that. And we can thank, again, another military spouse who saw a need a long time ago when she was living at Fort Myers and looked over and saw a soldier being buried with no one in attendance except the grounds and the Arlington officials. And so she started gathering wives, and they would stand aside and they would be there if no one else was going to be there, so that the soldier would not be buried alone. And that's the love of the Army family. And so it was an honor to represent the Army family on behalf of the Chief of Staff at the time. So that I take back and I hold as a very strong and special memory for me.
Wow, that is amazing. And congratulations on that, Gabby, as well. That's something I believe you really do deserve. And, for someone to acknowledge you and want you to lead others through the path no one's left behind. That's a beautiful movement. I love that. So, Gabby.
Well, thank you.
So, Gabby, I also know Homefront Girl has been in numerous stores, including Walmart and Kohl's and, even Hallmark. So what other items do Homefront Girl brand provide, as well as the bears, and where can we find them?
Okay, you can yes, Hallmark under when I signed with UNESCO, a lot of Hallmark stores across the country were carrying a lot of the collection, from the mugs to the pillows and everything else. The bears were carried, and a lot of my products, you could still find some of the Anessa products on Amazon.com, but the bear collection is sold on homefrontgirl.com. It's coming directly from me. So you can go on homefrontgirl.com, and there's bears, there's pillows for your home, there's mugs, there's T-shirts, there's, like I said, I have an awesome collection of camo sports bras and leggings for working out, Razorback for yoga. There's, of course, my line of books that are up there, little gift books, which make great stocking stuffers, by the way, as well as, in fact, I just posted the first Christmas, gosh, we haven't even had Halloween, but the first Christmas mug, it's a 15-ounce mug, and it says, it's bright red, it's really beautiful, and it says, it's like Santa's belt, but it's in camo in the center, and it just says some of the best gifts are dressed in camo. Oh. And it's a great mug as a gift, or for me as a military spouse, I remember the days when I would go to coffees or a welcome, or I needed something to give to someone. If I had something that reflected the lifestyle, or welcome gift, I would have taken that mug and I would have gone and gotten like a bag of like coffee beans, or maybe a hot cocoa mix and some marshmallows, and that makes them a cute little gift. And for the price of what, $13 or $12, and you're giving, I wish I would have had those things. So when I create, I kind of think along those lines. I love the holidays. I love Christmas. I love all of it. So when I did the Homefront Christmas collection, which I continue to have, I'm very happy about it. Also, I will point out that at Hobby Lobby, Kurt Adler, which is one of the oldest Christmas ornament companies in the United States, has licensed some of my Homefront Christmas collections, and they're currently available at Hobby Lobby. I would just call ahead and ask them if they're carrying Homefront Girl ornaments. They're not available on my website, but they are being carried in stores. And also TF Publishing. .com. You can go on my website. Actually, I think it's on the website, or on the Facebook page or Instagram. But basically, the 2019, I've done about 4 calendars so far, and this is the 2019 calendar, and it's so beautiful. And it's called Until They All Come Home. And that one is currently already open for sale. It's up for sale. I think it's like $12.99 or $14.99. I'm not sure. But that makes a great holiday gift, too, especially for someone that is awaiting homecoming. It's a wonderful countdown. And then once you're done with it, you can actually frame the design.
Wow.
And that's another gift.
Right.
So it's all these recycling things you can do.
That's perfect. Going
all of that is
after you're done using it.
PozeRecords.com.
Awesome. That's perfect. After you're done using it, go green. Why not?
Exactly. It's like, there's, find a little frame for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, Gabby, tell me, where can we stay in contact with you, or where can we find out more information about you?
Well, you can on Facebook, Facebook /Homefront Girl. On Instagram, it's Homefront Girl. And on Twitter, it's at Homefront Girl. And on my website, of course, www.homefrontgirl.com. You can also, I do have the public, you can go to Homefront Girl Inc., INK.com, and that's the publishing, where it's really on my website, but this is also, I had created this one as well, kind of showcasing when I launched the gift books on Amazon. And you can go on there, and there's stories, not stories, God forbid there should be stories about me, but there's my bio up there. And you can learn a little bit more about me. You can always email me at gaby@homefrontgirl.com. And I look forward to hearing from all of you, and I sincerely ask for your support in the collections that are especially giving back to our military families, especially United Through Reading, which is wonderful, our teddy bears, which are amazing. I'm, at this time, trying to get them into Macy's, an actual brick-and-mortar store. I would love that. I don't know, but, prayer and faith, and hopefully they will get in there, so we'll see. Because I created 28 bears in this collection, and this is the first 4. I'd love to be able to introduce another store, but I need to get them into a retail brick and mortar. And Macy's would be my. I love Macy's, and I just think, especially the New York store, would be awesome for them to be, with all the history that they have over the years of their support of our military men and women, to carry something that's giving back to them, and especially during the holidays. I think that would be a good thing.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Gaby Jurgens. You guys, you can find out so much more about her by visiting homefrontgirl.com, or you can visit her on all social media. Make sure to connect with her on Instagram, Twitter, and even Facebook. You can also email her at gaby@homefrontgirl.com. Thanks so much, Gaby. I love having you on here. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa. It was awesome. I'm sorry I talked so much.
You are fine, dear. You are fine. We appreciate so much you've done.
Well,
I appreciate having you. You guys, if you want to check out this interview, you can always visit vamo-radio.com. I'll have it up really soon. And you can also find out much more about it and much more about Gaby Jurgens, again, at the information she's giving you, and also on vamoradio.com. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Bye, Gaby.
Bye, Vanessa. Thank you.